Good morning, LinkedIn family. It's time for yet another Coffee with Bob. They're popping up again, and I'm very excited with that. Today, I'm very excited to introduce everybody to Mr. Chuck Hester. I've known Chuck now for close to a dozen years, I think.
Yeah.
And if I had to say that anybody really kicked me off on LinkedIn or got me going on LinkedIn or taught me gold on LinkedIn, I'd have to say it was Chuck. He's been a great mentor for me on this platform. And Chuck, I'm just so excited to have you on Coffee with Bob, and I want to introduce you to the world.
Well, thank you, Bob. And yeah, and you and I have, and Lisa have stayed in contact. I always tell people, you got me to Mexico. There's no doubt about it. But we did a speaking engagement down in Mexico at one point in time, and that was probably one of the best gigs. Indeed.
Yeah, we did an event in Playa del Carmen, right?
Yeah, Cabo San Lucas, I think.
Was it at the Hard Rock?
Yeah, the Hard Rock. Yeah, with a Bon Jovi concert. So We'll leave it at that because people are going to start getting really jealous. So,
so Chuck, tell me about what give people a little bit of background on your expertise and how long you've been on this platform.
Oh golly, I think since probably 12 to 13 years ago, 14 years ago. It's funny when you get older. Every year, there is another year that you add to it. So like when I say I've been in marketing for 25 years, it's more like 30, but I keep it at 25, that kind of thing. But yeah, I've been there probably 12 years. One of the earlier influencers. I was one of the first publishers on LinkedIn, and I've got close to 50 some odd articles on the publishing platform when it was more popular than it is these days. But I do LinkedIn training, speaking, and writing is the best way to describe it. I wrote a book on how to use LinkedIn for paying it forward, which is one of my bigger passions. And in the process of, I was using LinkedIn, and folks were noticing, and execs came to me and say, "Wait a minute, how can I do this?" And agencies came, and how do we get this done? So that's kind of the genesis of the LinkedIn consulting work that I'm doing is, working one-on-one with executives on how to use LinkedIn for, and you fill in the blanks. And it's business development, it's subject matter expertise, branding, you name it, I'm doing it. And these days, a little bit of work with job seekers on how to help job seekers find that next job. So, I have the reputation, and this is slightly humble bragging, but I have the reputation of, you ask me a question about LinkedIn, I probably can answer it, is the best way to describe it. So get on a call with me for 15 minutes and I can help and be able to do that. But I just love the platform. Frankly, I'm not a huge Facebook fan. I'm definitely not an Instagram fan. And you can, I've already uninstalled TikTok. So there you go.
I haven't, I was on TikTok for
close to 13, 14.
Oh, I think Chuck froze up on us. Okay, guys, we froze up there for a second, but Chuck is back. I think he froze up because he started talking about TikTok. And the social media gods didn't like that, apparently.
Yeah, it was a foreign powers plot to stop me from talking.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I never even, I was on TikTok for all of 2 minutes, and I just didn't see the value of it, at least for me. I see kids having value to it. My kids love it and are on it. Same thing with Instagram. And quite honestly, you and I are connected on Facebook as well. I'm barely on it these days. I think the real value for most professionals is definitely LinkedIn, and you can get it. And I love the fact that you're actually reaching out to job seekers.
Yeah. Well, the job market is an interesting market. One of the things that's happening, and I'm talking to a lot of people about this, is all of a sudden remote work is the norm as opposed to the unusual thing that people do, and employers are hesitating. They are looking for folks all over the country, and that's one of the things that's interesting too. If you're looking for a job, don't really start just looking within your backyard. You need to be all over the country because you could, as far as I'm concerned, I think you're going to be able to, you will do remote work, for about 6 months at least, if not longer.
Probably longer.
Into 2021 at the minimum. So we'll see how this all goes, especially with schools back in, and but we don't want to go that path.
Yeah, no, I know. My wife's being a teacher, so that's always been a
Mm-hmm.
struggle. So let me ask you this: given the circumstances of everything that's going on, right, and it's impacting not only just job seekers but organizations, right? Our own organization is we're keeping our heads above the water and we're working hard, and we've been very blessed to not have to lay people off, to not have to furlough or anything like that. What is your suggestion uh, for leveraging LinkedIn to help people continue to survive, or at least to get out there?
Well, it's interesting because I'm a member of a lot of different networking groups, and one of them has gone totally virtual. A local Raleigh, North Carolina realtor had started an in-person networking group after I left that area, and it was pulling in 200 to 300 people. He's changed that over to virtual now, and is doing just as well as far as that goes. The issues you run into, however, Bob, is you've got to be making sure that there's what is now known as Zoom burnout. People are tired of Zoom. Quite frankly, I was watching, I'm not a country western fan per se, but the CMA program that came on, and I'm frankly tired of folks in their living rooms playing their guitars for me. It doesn't really do much good. But for LinkedIn, it's really staying in touch with folks, finding folks that you haven't met. I'm going to share something that I kind of stole from another person that I know, but it's the 3 ups. It's show up. It's making sure that you reconnect and you are actually paying attention to folks, and you're also meeting new people. So that's kind of the bottom line on that. And I'm doing that, and thanks to you and several other folks, I'm probably now talking online to close to 10 to 15 people a week, and the telephone conversation, maybe 7 to 8 of those people, and that is basically, hey, let's get on the phone, do 15 minutes, you tell me about you, I'll tell you about me, we'll compare notes, and let's see how we can be of service to each other, which is my favorite phrase, of course you know that.
Yes.
But it does make a difference, and that the end of the 15, I'll give you a secret sauce here. The end of the 15 minutes, what I asked for is for them to email me as if I'm a customer or a potential customer and pitch me. And I do the same to them so that I can refer them with their language and be able to work it that way. So there's a lot of that going on. It's, the old fashioned pick up the phone is now becoming a really interesting thing. Folks who are on Zoom all day long don't necessarily want to do a Zoom call, and they're getting tired of messaging back and forth. So let's have a conversation one way or the other. It really makes sense.
I love that. I love that idea of doing the neutral pitch back and forth. I think it's one of the reasons why I like doing this coffee with Bob, because I like my connections and hopefully their connections to get to know people like you that have all this gold that they're willing to share,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and hopefully get them out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working with executives now on how to improve their presence on LinkedIn, because that's something that is going to be even more important than it was even 6 months ago. It really honestly is. You really need to have, we're an online chamber of commerce these days. That's kind of the bottom line. And if you're not portraying yourself in a business-like manner, and your profile looks like a resume, then you're not going to get the opportunities that you want to get, whether it be a new exec job or whether it's getting the information out so that you can do business development for your company. It really makes a difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love that you called LinkedIn, the new global chamber of commerce. I realize it because that's the business that I'm involved in. So I never thought of it that way, and that fits very well. Well, Chuck, I want to thank you very much. I really enjoyed this, and we have to do this again. And I'll touch base with you after we're done with this to try and plan a couple more of these, because I think this is important stuff we have to give out to people.
Yeah. Well, as we were talking about earlier before we started recording, the student has become the teacher, Bob. I mean, I worked with you early on. What you're doing on LinkedIn and connecting people is just amazing. I'm so, back a better way to put it, I'm proud of what's gone on and where you're going with this. And I know I could point to you as probably the best pay it forward advocate I know, second best pay it forward advocate I know. How's that?
Well, thank you very much. I truly appreciate that. And we'll talk again soon. Have a great day.
You got it. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.